Hello everyone, this is Jaya for the session of Digitalization. Today we are going to explain about what is digitalization, what is the importance in today's era, and even the advantages and with the case study of digitalization. So first slide comprises of the scenario. In this scenario, there are two friends, Bob and David, who works in a same business tours in a tours and tourism business. But in this scenario, David earns more, and whereas the Bob earns less. The question now comes why David earns much more than Bob? Because David uses the way of digitalize. In in that way, Bob uses the traditional way. So David uses like the digital method where he has a less time consumption. The risk thing is very less. But whereas the Bob, where he is using the traditional way, there are a lot of errors. It is a time consumption. It requires a manpower, and it requires a hell lot of time to get through the documents and do the verification. But if we are doing in a digital way, these things get bit easy because the documents are saved in our online platform. Plus, there are less errors, less time consumption, less cost part is there. So that is why the digitalized way becomes more easier for the person to run a business. So it helps to manage the business well. But whereas the Bob is struggling with the business because he is using that traditional method. So traditional method is taking a lot of time because he has to search each and everything, collect the documents, verifying the documents. But here in other scenario, in other place, the person that is doing everything at online platform. Whether he's checking the documents, whether he is booking the tickets, or he is booking the accommodation, or doing anything which is in every way is digitalized. So he doesn't have to spend much time on it. Whatever it is, he can search it online and do it in no time. So that is the reason why the digitalization in today's world is more important rather doing in a traditional way. The business is more growing because of digitalization, because business has a very good impact in online platform, whereas in these days, uh, everybody is looking for purchasing a product in online because many people don't go for a traditional way and wait for the product to come in the market or something. They are just going it online to do it or purchase a product online. So that is the reason digitalized way is an important ingredient in our life. Second is what is the difference between traditional and digitalized way. So in a traditional way, it is more manpower is involved, more time consumption is there, high costing is there, even slow processing, even the errors part is much more. But in a digitalized way, we find very less of these factors because it becomes the work of the every person becomes easy because it's everything it is online, whether if you are saving the document or you're putting everything in an online platform for searching or booking or doing any payment sort of work, because now digitalization method is good for even the payments part also, even scanning, uh, booking hotels or booking a restaurant or booking a m- ticket for a movie theater. So these becomes a bit easy in digitalized way. But whereas if you work in a traditional way, it becomes difficult for every person. Even if I can say it is very difficult for me to go in a traditional way because I would suggest that I'm very comfortable in a digital way because we can purchase the things in our own space, in our own time. We don't need uh, to go around the shops and see the product. I can cross check with other apps. I can check the deals. I can see what is the quality of that product. I can see the experience of that uh, product which the customers are taking online. So that would be for me. I think it would be easy because I always prefer to a digitalized way because I can find a number of things in a online platform rather than going shop to shop, search for a particular product. And moreover, if we see that if we are searching for a particular product and it is not available in the market, that becomes a little bit frustrating because I go through in that manner and I have an experience where I find that when I was going to find a product and it was not in the market, it feels really frustrating that this product which I'm searching is not there. But on the other hand, when I search it online, I got that product in one of the apps. So that is much more convenient. So that's the reason when it is a less time consumption. I don't have to waste the travel time for the travel or searching for the product. I can search it online and with the different apps, with the different prices, with the different deals. So in this manner, digitalization is more important in today's world. And even if we see in a business growth, that is also more important because business in this way, business can put the products online. They can help the customer with their queries and they can service those customers. They can retain those customers. That becomes the growth of the business because if there are customers on your platform, it it is a beginning for the business growth. And if there is no customers in your platform, so that means there is no business there. So everybody in this era is always dealing with the digitalization way, whether it is selling, whether it is talking, or whether it is serving the customer query. That becomes a little bit easier for the customers to find the product in a digitalized, or we can say in an online platform, because in a business that is also an important part because it is transforming from this traditional way to the digital part. So I would suggest, in my scenario, I would suggest that digitalization was much more important ingredient to our life. Like when we cook food, and if we don't put salt, I don't think so. The food becomes much more good in taste. But when you put the salt or whatever it is less than that, it becomes a good food to eat. You would like that taste. You would try to take it more. So this is how it works in a business life also, in a domestic life also. When we are trying to get everything online, why should we go? The question only comes, why should we go in a traditional way when we have different types of thing doing in digitalization way, whether we are buying anything or whether we are booking for a travel or we are booking for any sort of accommodation for a vacation, or we are going for a movie, or we are going uh, to purchase anything. So these things helps uh, both the customer as well as in the business, because business can provide new ideas, new innovation, new products, new deals. In this way, the customer is getting attracted online. Even you can do campaigning online because it becomes more easier rather than to get in through in a traditional way. For if I say according to me, I would suggest that digitalization way is much more important in that way. So third slide comes about what is digitalization. So digitalization, as I was discussing, that if we do even a small information, if I could explain, like I have to give one information to five people from my side. So what I'll be doing it. My easiest way to give that information to my five people is through email, that it would go to five people around. So I don't have to go to each and every person and give that information. So in my scenario, that I would love that it would go instantly. The person would get the information, but in a traditional way, I have to go to each and every person to deliver that particular information so that they understood what is the process. But if I have to make understand the process instantly, I can put it on the email, or I can do any social media pages, or if I want to promote my own business or a product, the better option is the social media, or we can do it in an online platform in apps or anything. So that is more convenient for us to help our business to grow. And in domestic life also, if we want to get something, if you want to check out some story, or if we are doing any classes or any creative things, we can do it online. We don't have to sit for this particular school that they will call us or something, but we can do it online. We can search different schools, we can search different classes where we have that good time schedule. So this is how the digitalization plays a role in our domestic as well as the business life, because in a business life it plays more of it, because the business life have to create good products and online platform where he can attract his or her customers so that he can come to the platform repeatedly, and he can do the repeat purchases as well, and try to service retain those customers, and it would help to bring new customers through them, because it is more easier way in doing that. In a digital way, it is a very easier way rather than doing it a traditional way. Even a simple photograph nowadays, nobody keeps a photograph in the pocket, and they just scan it and keep it online, so that whenever it is required, whether it is filling of a form or whether it is anything, and you have to give a photograph for the same, you can just pull out from the online platform and you can just attach it through the mail or wherever you want to send it. You can just send that photograph. You don't need not to search for it. You need not to have to sit for it to get for a scanning and go through it. So this is what is the main thing, or a main uh, good part of digitalization, which helps you to go through in every part, whatever. If you're researching, if you're want to read an article, or you want to go through some details, or you want to go for even the newspapers are online, and you can read it online. There's no need of a paperwork over there. So more or less in a business life, paperwork is less, but you have all the abilities to do it in online platform rather than doing it in a traditional way. So what is the importance of digitalization in the next slide? So importance of digitalization, if I would suggest, according to me, that is less of errors. Even when you type a document, so in that particular document, if you are writing a piece of article or whatever it is you're writing, so it gives us spelling errors if you are writing in that word or something, so they'll hint you how to correct it. If there is a space, or if there is any error in your sheet, they can try to correct you automatically. But when you see it traditional way, you don't have that facility to do it. Either you put that document on a written, and after that you kept it on a desk or somewhere and you just forgot and it is lost. So can you retrieve that? No, you can't retrieve that. You have to put the whole effort again. But this is the most good advantage of putting it online, that if it is lost also from your desktop or from anywhere, you can just retrieve it from the cloud, you can retrieve it online. So it is not lost anyway. You don't have to put the entire effort again, but in a traditional way you have to put that entire effort again. That is why I would suggest digitalization in today's business life is much more important in growing the business a lot. You can't, there is a risk of losing all the records of very less. In traditional way, there are 100% risk, because maybe it is lost, or it may be anything. You can't say what would be the situation, what would be the scenario, but in an online way, you can retrieve all the data, whatever you have saved in cloud. So second thing, digitalization is also more important in an operational way for the business point of view. If I say, yeah, it is very easy, where whenever a customer is having any query about anything, I'm not talking about a particular thing, I'm talking about in a general, whether it is a product, whether it is about a document. So the operational cost regarding this is very less. The reason behind it, key, we always try to do that automation, or we try to create everything online, so the customer gets an easy interface to get through it, where the errors are very less, but it becomes easy interface for a customer to go through the entire stuff. He doesn't have to wait for it to just get the things done. He can do it online. Even it is much more easier for nowadays because the errors are very less, and it helps in if the customer representative, if he or she is buying any product, and he or she is having any queries, or having some doubts about that particular product or something, or the service. So it can be managed online. You don't have to just sit and you just try to wait that they'll message you or they'll call you. But here you can just do instantly live chat, which is more convenient in a business part. If the representative of the particular business or a brand, if you're interacting and the person is online and he gives the instant solution, everybody loves it. Even I love if I have any problems, if even I get some damaged products. So if I get that, talk to the customer representative of that particular app or particular company or a brand, and if they are helping me for the refund or anything, so it has become easier for me because I want to go back to that particular brand again and get the things done for me or purchase for me. So that is where the digitalization is very good rather than in a traditional way. Third point would be the importance is what I have discussed with you earlier, that is of retention. So when you give a good service to the customers in helping their queries or whatever their complaints are there, if you're resolving instantly, that is help the retention of the customer for your business growth. So if you retain those customers, they would recommend other people to come to your website, purchase a product or purchase your service. That becomes a good part of your thing, of your business, for your growth, for everything. Because the customers are the most valuable for the business. If you're running a small business also, if you're running a business, like if you're of a general store, even where you have all the items, and if there are no customers, will the business grow? No. If the customers are not there, you can't do anything. But if the customer comes and he do the purchases, and if you give a good quality of service to them, they'll definitely come back. They'll definitely search whatever the products they required or service they required. They can come back to you, and even they recommend you. So retention is the most important part which plays in a digitalization, because in digitalization you can retain those customers online. You don't have to go anywhere, but you can do it by online, helping the customer, be with them, understand their queries, try to resolve them, and always try to be focused with the customer, because then he feels that the person is listening to his or her problems to get it resolved. So this is digitalization is a key part in that way, in a business growth, in every way. In a, if you see in a domestic, even I always purchase products online. So I would I always having an experience with the customer service, whether it's food is not on time or it is not complete order I got. So this is how I means I get that customer service from the people. I would be really interested that my query should be resolved at the earliest. I should not sit on the call and wait for that my turn to come. So that is where it is very good. I try to uh, I get more and more result from the online platform. I get more and more queries resolved. So I usually buy, if I say I usually buy many products, I usually see services online, whether I could suggest that, like, mostly I do a grocery shopping, or if I do for my home a pest control or something, I always try to look out online. I get what are the best services, or what are the experience of other people of having this service. So it becomes easier to select one service for myself, and it is really I love it because I can get note of the feedback, I get the note of the experience. So it is I get in a one place, and if I feel that service is good, I will come back again. So this is how the chain works. So this is where digitalization has fully uh, occupied the online platform like this way by doing apps, or if you want any data or if you want any articles to read off, you can do it online. You don't have to go for an archive and search for it. So that is what I like it about digitalization in this era. So, any examples if I have to quote for digitalization? So, one example is nowadays everybody has a documents to sign, digital signature. If you have heard about it, due to this pandemic, every people is being at home, so nobody wants to go out even for any paperwork or something. So, what is the best method to get the things done? Um, I have deal with the insurance sector, so whenever I required a policy, so I would get the online form. I can fill that online form. We can do the digital signature over there, and I can post that form to that concerned person or the concerned brand or a company, whatever the service I'm taking. So that is the most good example, because nowadays the people doesn't come to home and take our signatures. We can do it digitally, and which becomes easier. We give, we get different font styles, whatever we want to give it in a digital signature. So that's what we can do the signatures online, so that it becomes easier. I don't have to wait for those forms to get through in a physical way and then sign and then we send it through courier. We can do it instantly and get the service done. So this would be the most convenient, but nowadays the people are doing this and even I'm doing it. So that is one point of thing that is very good in business life also, when you have to target some customers. So the main thing the customer would ask that I can get those services online. Can I get my query resolved if I complain something? Can I get that solution for it? So this is a one point contact of the customer when we are doing the online sales or our online business. So it is very clear from that part. So the entire session, I have told you what are the advantages. So that is, first of all, it is a time saving. Second is a cost saving. Third is a accuracy, where is a less risk of the errors. Easy distribution, which I have told about. Like if I have to send an information, I can send it through email rather than going to one by one. All the datas are secured online, whatever the document, whatever the file, whatever the presentations you have, you can just upload it in the cloud. And if it is lost also, you can retrieve those data from your cloud. And last point, would I suggest that it increase the products profits for the business when you have a good service to the customer in your business platform, where you are giving a good and a healthy relationship with the customer, where he or she feels comfortable when he or she is getting a service or he is getting the resolution from the uh, representative, because it is a more important part in the business growth, that the person should be great enough to do it, whether it helps a customer for it. So till now we have understood what is digitalization, what is its importance, what are the example, and even the scenario. So now comes the QR code. So my question would be, what is QR code? What is the importance of QR code in our life? I would hope that you also have those QR code uh, in your domestic, in a day-to-day life, where whether you're going somewhere or you're going to a particular event even, so you have that QR code printed on that flyer or anywhere, where you can just uh, scan it and you get the entire things of that particular event. You get the details of that particular event. Nowadays in a bank also, they have launched this QR code where you just have to show it, punch it, and you get the service done. So QR code, moreover, for me, it's really easy way. It also helps in payment also, because one of the easiest way to do the payments in shops, if you go to the online physical form, so if you just scan the QR code, the money you put it and it get transferred. So I think nowadays nobody keeps that hard cash. You all know that is a bit easy, but difficult, because I don't only keep the hard cash with me. I just try to keep it everything online, because payments becomes easier after scanning the QR code or getting something or purchasing any items. We can just scan the QR code, or if we are going to an event, or if we are going to somewhere in a movie theater, we just scan it and we get through it. So that is what the QR code plays a role in it. So in our system, I'm representing UX Living Lab, which works on a QR code. So as soon as when you register it, whether you can do it online, even I have the link for the app also, where you can just install, register your details, and a QR code is generated. And through that QR code, you can uh, take any services or product, whatever the information you require, you can go through it. So there is one link where you can just install this. If you don't want to go to the website or something, you can just install this app and get your QR code generated for our company. And then you don't have to wait for it that your time will come. You can just pick up whatever the service or whatever the product or even the pricing of that particular product you require, you can get through instantly. So there is a one, the case study which I'm talking about today is one of the really finest one. Nowadays, every people um, look for, because many people don't drive in the city, because uh, I think they always try to opt something rented, whether it is a car, whether it is a bike, or whether they don't want to take out their own vehicles. Everybody has that intention that why to take up our own vehicle, we should take up a rented one where it can get easier for us, and we can travel anywhere we want. So where this QR code comes in this, so somebody uses the app where you can rent a car or a auto, or you can go through it. But there is a unique thing about the QR code where you can just scan it and get your rented vehicle, and you can go wherever you want to travel. So I stay in Bangalore, so I have this a unique thing which is going good today nowadays. So there is a vehicle where um, there is a rented vehicle in a Bangalore city. Everybody has it, but there is a something different which I felt I should share with you guys, because that is most less time consumption. What we do that we just register it and just get a QR code and take the bike. We don't have to go through the entire process of going somewhere, booking the particular vehicle for yourself and get it done. So this is how it works in while we are renting for a electric scooter. So this screen should be in this way, somewhat like this way only. Um I should put my name details. This is my the entire details. I've given the email ID, I've given the phone number, and then I registered it. The form has sent successfully. This QR code is generated for me. So now this, when I registered this particular app to rent a electric scooter, and this QR code has came. So now I can use that QR code to take a rented electric scooter for myself anywhere from the place. I'm not saying it's from my home. If I'm been in such a place, and if I can find out that where is actually, we can take that, we can just scan it. After soon when it scan, I can just put it some of the places, like I put it as a CV Ramanagar, and put the destination, it calculates the fare and it gives like $10 from where to where it gives, and you can just pay through the wallet. So I think that is more convenient because it's a techie thing, it's a new thing. Many people don't get that. It becomes a bit cheap. The as a fair price, it's a good easy budget for the people to carry through. Plus, he or she doesn't have to wait for their time to come, or they are not waiting for the vehicles. You just go scan the QR code and you get your drive ready. You can book that electric scooter and go anywhere, wherever you want. And you just, when you go to the destination, you can stop that, you can pay from there, and you can leave that electric scooter at that particular point where you have given the destination. So, this is something relaxing, a bit of interesting, where you are getting so many features in one QR code. That is the reason QR code helps in a business part. Every product has a QR code. So in my thing, if I'm renting an electric scooter, and if these are the two steps, it was more convenient to do it. Everybody would like it because nobody wants to get in a complicated way. Everybody wants that it should be in some easier way to get through it, and you just pay the money through wallet. You don't have to take attention that you have to keep it here or there, or how the money will be deducted, what are the service. So this is how what we do. That is, according to me, this was an easy, a unique thing that we can carry. And in that case, if we have any issue, we can contact the customer service for the same, because this is a very easy, just generating a QR code and getting the things done. That is more convenient for us. So that's the reason that QR code is more important in today's life, whether you can talk about a business, whether you can talk about the domestic life. It's much more easier to do it. And gives in our company also, the QR code is much more convenient, because as soon as you create it through our app or through our website, it gives you uh, the drop down for the services or a product. You can choose anything. You can choose for the packaging, you can choose for the reports, you can do anything. If you want to help, if you want to get a help from us to grow your business smooth, to get your brand awareness rate, anything, if you want from our service, it would be much more easier thing. So I would be giving you this both link on the chat, so that there's one more thing I want to discuss. One thing you can do it. This is a calendar where you can book any date, anytime at your expense, and there will be a mail sent to you, and one mail will be sent to us. And then, what time you require, we can assist you with the service or a feedback or a product or the information. And you don't have to wait for it to get through it. And if you want another 10 minutes, if you want to book any call or business, we are ready to help you with. So this is what UX Living Lab does, and it helps the people to grow their business, to get the consumer feedbacks, to get the insights, to get their brand awareness for your business. So you can get a clear picture from us what is actually lacking in your business. That is more interesting part, which I think uh, it is good for your business. And this also help you in a digitalization way, because you don't have to go anywhere else to go through it. And you can just sit at your laptop and just open the window, get the things done, and try to get more and more information from us if you want. And we are ready to help. We are already focused on customers, because customers are really valuable for us, and we will always take a good care of the customers, so that they should come back again and again to get our services. Even they can recommend other people to come if they are happy with our services. So this is how we work. We try to do our things. So if you have any complaints or any issues or any queries to be solved, just let us know through this medium. You can just give an barge on this calendar and give a buzz, or so that would be more convenient. So this is all about today's session. Hope you like it. Please do comment and just let me know if there's anything I have missed out or left. Just let me know about it so that I can help you with my other sessions or anything, any help you require with the product part. Thank you so much for joining us, taking your valuable time for us.